If the ground war comes, as it now seems more and more likely than it will, there will be a massive job of coordinating all of those troops and tanks and planes and artillery. Today, I went to a Marine fighter plane base where the Marine pilots are preparing for CAS, close air support for the Marines on the ground. Marine pilots and their ground crews are running a heavy schedule of sorties today, encouraged by clear skies over the Gulf. Every plane going out heavily loaded with ordnance, cluster bombs that rain armor-piercing shells, bombs that explode burning fuel over a target, sucking the oxygen out of the air, smart bombs guided by a laser. Sergeant Doug Bowman hoped all of this would be enough to get the Iraqis to withdraw.
Ground war, I want it to end with an air war, because if an air war ends it, then we did our job. I don't want to see the ground troops go in because of what will happen.
But Iraqi forces in Kuwait were up to old tricks again today, trying to hang on. Lieutenant Colonel Steve King, codenamed Skymo, just back from a run over Kuwait.
There have been some well fires probably for about the last 10 days to 2 weeks, but it just seems like they set some additional ones that have really caused some difficulty as far as acquiring targets due to the smoke.
Returning pilots think they've caused a lot of damage in the last month, but exactly how much, they can't be sure.
We have, of course, been able to pound him on equipment and people that we can actually pick out. We'll find out really what's left once the ground war does, in fact, start.
What's your best guess on what he's got left in terms of armor?
Less than what he had when he started. I'm avoiding the question. I don't think I can put a figure on it.
Yeah. But you've done a lot of damage to it, you think?
I think we've done fair damage.
Marines are proud of their common bond. Officers and enlisted men side by side, cleaning up the tarmac. And that spirit will take on a new meaning if there is a ground war. These pilots are thinking a lot about fellow Marines on the front lines.
If they do have to go across, it's going to be a completely different game. It looks evil up there. It looks like a battlefield probably should look. Very dark and foreboding.
What gives you pause about flying close air support for a ground action?
The scariest thing for me personally is dropping on friendlies. And I have a lot of friends that are personal friends that are on the ground, and I've known them for a long time. And that to me, that is the hardest decision. If I'm not sure of what really is on the ground, I'm not going to drop on it. But I'm scared of dropping and killing another Marine.
For now, there are mostly fixed targets for these flyers, but before too long, they fully expect to be part of a fast-moving ground war. And they are not underestimating the chaos or the danger. In New York, Jane Pauley joins me now with other news about the war. Jane?
Well, Tom, American forces on the ground are as ready as they can be. Tonight, NBC's Roger O'Neill takes us to Fort Irwin, California, where they don't just teach soldiers how to fight, but how to survive.
It was a simple battle plan. Find the enemy and kill him before he kills you.
Red 5, Red 6. Let's move out. Go up to the top of this hill and see if we can get the rest of that platoon.
But Sergeant Virgil Showers got killed first.
Carelessness. That's how I got killed. I walked beside the hill there, and there was a belt there, and when I stuck my head around there, it was over.
The 48th Infantry Brigade of the Georgia National Guard has been killed a lot in the last month, but that's why they are here. The National Training Center at Fort Irwin, California is the last place soldiers before deployment to Saudi can make mistakes, learn from them, and live to talk about it.
In war, everything is simple.
Even the commanding general at Fort Irwin, Wes Clark, has died on the California battlefield.
It is a very aggravating, it makes me very angry when I think back at how foolish I was to have put myself in a position to have been killed.
Almost every soldier in the Persian Gulf has been trained here. On the Mojave Desert, the enemy is OP-4, American soldiers who look and fight like we think the Iraqis will. Here, they usually win. Tank Commander Tom Dudley thought he was doing pretty well. He hadn't been killed in 2 weeks.
We found this great wadi to hide in, good hold-down positions to take the enemy on, and then artillery just came in on us.
The weapons fire blanks, but use lasers to activate strobe lights on tanks or beeper alarms on soldiers. When they go off, the soldier knows he's died.
It makes me feel like, hey, that's one. I don't like to be dead. I tell you that much. I like to stay alive as long as I can.
That's the purpose of the training center. As the battle is fought, analysts are able to watch it unfold on computer screens.
What he may be doing is shooting at a vehicle that's not instrumented, or that the system
What happened there?
See, this guy just died.
It's war games here.
Hey, Mom! Can't go for 6 months. Be home soon.
Preparing for the real thing over there. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Fort Irwin, California.